Hi all, it's PJ and welcome to the preview for the August Block of the Month Club. This month it's all about flower borders and corners. This is the corner and then these are the borders. And in the borders I've done two different versions. You can see here in this, both of the heads are in the same direction and here they're opposite. If you've never worked with my borders and corners before, the blocks are made exactly like you would make a standard block. And then you trim here. So this would be your 1/4 inch seam allowance here. This is the outside and this is the outside. So by putting the heads in different directions, it will affect the way that the layout's going to go, which is why I've given you both of them so that you can choose how those work. The corner designs have just one, meaning this is always going to be the outside corner. And this is the inside corner. But they're done that way to keep batting in the seam and out of the seam, because this is where you would join it. And this is going to be the outside border. Same here. This is, you would join this edge to your existing quilt. This would be your outside edge. So there's actually batting in that seam allowance. There are 7 motifs this month. So these are 6. And then this is the 7th. Each of these motifs has 2 borders and then a corner. And then in addition to that, there are also, using those same 7 motifs, I've done what I'm calling main blocks, which doesn't have the stitching. It doesn't have this, the guide stitching, to cut them apart. And so these are fun just to use as general quilting designs. So those are the main blocks. And then I've also added 2 separate designs that is just the basting border and then this stitch for the border. And this is a triple stitch. And then on the corner, this is a triple stitch. So that is just a basic design. I'll walk through all of that in more detail in the full run. The purpose for those designs is so that you can take any of the basic border or corner designs and turn them into what I would consider main blocks. These stitches are really just a 5mm basting border, and it really is designed just as a guideline. I'll put screenshots of these up so that you can see the border design just by itself and the corner design all by itself. It'll make a little bit more sense. The flower designs are done with what is called a back stitch, and it's a 5mm long stitch, which means it lends itself really well to using a little bit heavier thread. These are some 30 weight rayon from Wonderfill. And this is just a really nice example of the variegateds and your choice of background color and how that affects things. When I was looking at this just on the spool, I was thinking that this was white. So I was thinking it wouldn't show up very well on white. So I did it on the gray, only to realize that that white is not really white. It's kind of a gray color. So here it's kind of blending in. It shows up well on the black and on the white. This shows different weights of thread. This is the Quilter Select 80 weight, which is a very fine thread, but again, it's a multi-pass stitch. So even with a fine thread, it's very bold. This is a standard 40 weight. This is a polyester embroidery thread. And then this is a 30 weight rayon. So you can see here, this is the heaviest of the 3 threads, and it is a very nice bold stitch. And then this example, this is a 30 weight cotton, and this is a 30 weight polyester. Really not a lot of difference. This one may be slightly bolder. Those are just some of the blocks for this month. Let's get started.